Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again with another incredible video from another incredible creator who's decided to use one very incredible profile picture. They've got Clippy over here, ladies and gentlemen, Clippy, and the name of this guy is the great.jpg, and the name of this video is I'm quitting Genshin, and you should too. And I saw the combination of all these different elements combined, and I was like, I don't really know how I feel about this one. But do you want to know what pushed me over the edge? Do you want to know what ensured that I was going to be a watcher? Looking at the number of subscribers, 400, not even 1K. Looking at the number of views, 32, and then listening to this guy's voice for half a second.
I'm quitting Genshin Impact.
Now you know we gotta watch this shit. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get right into this and see why he's making such a brave decision.
I'm quitting Genshin Impact, and you should too. I'm not saying that because I hate the game, but because the game hates me.
This guy sounds like he hates life.
And you. I have never seen a game that doesn't want to improve or be fun more than this game does.
Is he gonna talk like this for the whole video?
For your reference, I have multiple games under my belt to compare Genshin to, and my experience in Genshin is that I have played every Archon quest, most of the story quests, all the hangouts, gotten to floor 12 in the Spiral Abyss, reached the highest reputation level in most of the regions, and have spent plenty of hours exploring the open world. In other words, I think I have enough experience in Genshin to criticize it, and have enough experience in other games to explain why the flaws in Genshin are so bad.
Nobody should find it surprising why this guy sounds depressed. Nobody should find it surprising why this guy sounds like he's not on his 13th, he's on his 14th reason why. This was after the attempt.
So, I'm gonna do that.
Presentation!
Before I talk about the actual gameplay, I want to talk about the community's biggest criticism about the game. The fact that you can't skip.
There are people that complain about Genshin's skip button, and they haven't even completed chapter 1 of the game. There are people who complain about Genshin's skip button, and they're finished with Nod Cry.
Cutscenes.
Genshin's cutscene presentation is shockingly bad. It was outdated the year it was released, and has not improved at all in the 6 years since.
Well, they added one extra idle animation though to the Linnea quest, and like they made like one cartoony Saturday morning thing. Like they put that in. It was, my daughter liked it.
It's actually on par with Sonic Adventure from 1998. And I do mean that. The in-game cutscenes have the character models do the same stock animations. The mouth animations are not synced
Sonic looks kind of better
to match with the English
Yeah, Sonic has better lip syncing. That's actually a fact.
dialogue, or any language that isn't Chinese. They are unskippable, and every once in a while you will get a pre-rendered cutscene that is way better animated than anything else in the game. The thing with Sonic Adventure from 1998 is that it's from 1998. And the bad cutscenes are more of a sign of its age. Genshin came out in 2020, and should be judged like the modern game that it is.
And this is why I never buy the whole argument, right? We need to give a game a chance to cook. We can't be out here criticizing Arknight's Enfield too much. Partner, it only released in January. You can't compare it to regular Arknights. Regular Arknights had 6 years to cook. And it's such a great game now. Enfield's only had 2 months. They're made by the same company. Just because your parents, when they had your older brother, yes, you know what your older brother did, bro? He like ate poo occasionally, right? And probably threw himself off swings, and it was like really bad. When parents have like their second kid, you would assume that like they don't make the same mistakes they made on the first one. If your first kid has fetal alcohol syndrome, your second kid definitely shouldn't. That's mainly what I'm trying to say. And like these devs, their first kid has it, then their second kid has it too, and then people are like, well, just give them some time to cook. It's like, no, they know exactly what the issue is, how the issue should not happen, right? And how to fix it, but they chose not to fix it. And you want to know what the fetal alcohol syndrome is over here? It's Enfield launching with expiring stamina. It's Enfield launching with banners where the pity expires, with expiring tickets, all of that shit. And you want to know where Enfield is right now? Sorry, I forgot. This was a Genshin video. Let's get back to that.
And for a modern game, these cutscenes suck. And the fact that I can make this comparison at all is proof of this. Even more baffling is that, like I mentioned earlier, you can't skip these. You have to look at these boring, poorly animated cutscenes for like 10,000 years because the cutscene to gameplay ratio in Genshin's main story quests is like 99% cutscene and 1% gameplay. The vast majority of games since 2010 have skippable cutscenes, so this
What was that deer humping? That was a deer breathing.
is a reasonable.
Yeah, it's like, guys, have you guys ever thought about what your idle animations look like in real life? Yeah, how about you just stop fucking typing? How about you think about what your idle animations look like for a second? I bet you don't even know.
Complained. Also, bit of a reminder that even heavily story-focused games
I don't hump the air, bro. Proof? Proof? You guys all know what your idle animations look like? Like, you know exactly to a T, gun to your head, you'd be able to describe perfectly what your idle animations look like in real life. Yeah, shut the fuck up. No, you can't.
like Metal Gear Solid 1 through 5 allow you to skip cutscenes, so what the hell is Genshin's excuse? Even worse is that the game is live service, and the quality has not increased whatsoever.
I feel like that's a bit of a tough sell. Like, the game has to have gotten better in some areas, but if you show me a video of Columbina's kit, I'll agree with you.
To this day, Genshin's cutscenes are so bad that they are beaten in terms of quality by games from 2001, which are a quarter of a century old now. Games like Halo 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sonic Adventure 2, and Mega Man X6, despite not having the best cutscene direction, are still vastly more appealing to look at than Genshin's cutscenes have, and ever will be to look at.
This guy's a fucking nerd.
You can also skip the cutscenes in all of these games, by the way. Even other gacha games have skip buttons, so there really is just no excuse. Like what? Can the billion-dollar company not hire more animators to help spruce up the cutscenes?
You guys want to know my favorite Halo cutscene ever?
My rifle copter goes swah 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 swah.
Sorry, that was just the audio of it.
Or get one of the devs to add a skip button. Like, there are so many ways I can criticize the bad cutscenes. We could actually be here all day, so I should just move on. One more thing before I get to the gameplay. Genshin's size. You know Breath of the Wild. You know how it has a big open world with tons of stuff to do in it?
I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen the Breath of the Wild map before, and now that I've looked at it, wow, this looks a lot like Genshin.
And is only like 14.4 gigabytes. Well, as of making this video, Genshin is 174.8 gigabytes on console.
That's actually impressive. That might be the biggest one so far. I know Wuwa's smaller than that.
Now, to be fair, Teyvat is a bigger map than Hyrule is, but even if Genshin's map was like 5 times the size of Breath of the Wild's, it should only be like 72 gigabytes.
Well, I mean, the other thing is that Genshin doesn't look that good as a game. Like, guys, let's just be real here. In the big 2026, I don't think we're out here using Genshin as like anywhere close to like the pinnacle of like 3D action gaming nowadays.
A full 102.8 less than what it is now. So keep in mind that not only is this game going to drain your life, as I'll get into in a second, but it also wastes your precious space on your hard drive. Okay, let's actually talk about the gameplay now.
This section really hurts to write because I can see there is a good game buried deep down in here somewhere.
And I love that take. There's a good game buried deep down in here somewhere, but these devs have decided to just really fuck it all up.
The actual gameplay of Genshin is like this. You build a team with a maximum of 4 characters. Each character has an element, those being Anemo, Geo, Electro, Dendro, Hydro, Pyro, and Cryo, and a weapon type, those being Sword, Claymore, Spear, Catalyst, and Bow.
Yeah, we all know this shit.
Each character has the same basic controls, i.e. they have a normal, charged, and plunge attack, can sprint, use their character-specific elemental skill and burst, climb walls like in Breath of the Wild, and glide like in Breath of the Wild. Where each character differs is that their normal and charged attack depend on their weapon, and their character-specific elemental skill and burst will obviously inflict that character's element.
Does this guy just summarize the entire combat system in like a minute?
So a pyro character will set things on fire, or an electro character will electrocute things, and mixing different elements gives you different reactions that do more damage to enemies.
Honestly, not a bad job. Not a bad job considering that, yeah, he didn't take that much time at all.
The general description I just gave
Hey, I bet some of y'all needed a refresher. Because you have Alzheimer's.
you of the gameplay, you might be wondering what the problems are. I mean, on paper it sounds pretty fun. Well, it's how you get characters and upgrade them where Genshin falls apart. Genshin is a gacha game, so that means using in-game currency, i.e. Primogems, Antiquated Fate, and Intertwined Fate, to pull on a character's banner for a chance to get them. There are 2 limited time banners with a limited time 5-star character, and 3 4-star characters, and a standard banner that's always available.
This guy out here really just made, like, not even like, this is like one of those Blink for dummies. This is like how to quit Genshin for dummies.
The limited 5-star character banners are the main attraction, though. By default, you have a pretty high chance of just not getting the character. It takes 90 pulls for the game to guarantee that you get a 5-star character on that banner.
No, like this is like a before you play Genshin in 2026. I mean, if that's the basis of this video, Genshin in 2026, the experience, yeah, no, I think it's pretty accurate.
Now, to be fair, after like 70 pulls, your chances of getting the character do go up. Unfortunately, the 5-star character you pulled might not be the 5-star character you want, since there is a 50-50 chance the game gives you a different character than the one you wanted.
Bro, yeah, no, this is 1000% for normies.
And your chances for pulling a 5-star character go back to what they were originally. Because of this...
But sometimes I think it's always good to have the perspective of, how bad does this system actually sound for somebody that doesn't even know what gachas actually are?
It takes 180 pulls for you to get a 100% chance to receive the character you are pulling for. That's just for 5 stars. There's absolutely no guarantee for the 4 stars on the banner, so if you want one of them, you just have to hope you get one while you were pulling. But wait, that's not all.
Because I guess the reason that I'm seeing over here is that it's all bad because it's a gacha. But does he go deeper? We need to see.
Each 5-star character has a 5-star weapon.
Because you could theoretically apply this to almost any gacha game as a whole.
And that they don't come with. You have to pull on a separate weapon banner that works pretty
here we go.
Similar to the regular limited banner.
Here we go.
Only this time, you are guaranteed to get the weapon at 160 pulls. That means, worst case scenario, you have to pull 340 times to get both the character and weapon you want.
He could put some visuals for that one, but yeah, no, I feel like 340 pulls for a single unit this really puts into perspective all the people bitching and moaning about the Cyberpunk collaboration, where in the Cyberpunk collab, with 125 pulls, you can like guarantee a like S1 unit. Like guarantee a S1 unit. And you have a 50% chance of having an S1 R1 unit by the end of that. And yeah, in Muwa, it's like 230 in the worst possible case scenario. While here, it's 300. I don't know, bro. It's kind of absurd once you think about it. Yeah, and then Genshin gets 60 pulls a patch. Like, this is the thing. This guy is not even getting into the worst shit here. Like, the most vile shit. Like, all he's really talking about are, like, baseline gacha systems. He's got to get to that next level, though, because he's just making Genshin sound like every other gacha right now.
Now, this wouldn't be that big of a problem if there were an abundance of in-game currency.
There we go. Okay, all right. I'm glad he got there, because it kind of just sounded like he was like pissing into the wind for a second. Okay, there we go.
There isn't. While you can get Primo Gems, Antiquated, and Intertwined Fate through normal gameplay, you really won't get that much. You get one Antiquated Fate for every other Ascension level one of your characters hits, get one Intertwined Fate per Archon quest completed, or can buy either for 160 Primo Gems, which you get for almost anything. Yeah, that's right, you only get one Intertwined Fate for looking at this for hours of your life per quest.
Well, what if it's not an Archon quest? What if it's just a world quest? Then I just get shit on.
Now, let's talk about Primo Gems. You get Primo Gems.
He's not sane.
For pretty much anything.
Nah, he's crazy.
From opening chests to doing quests and completing achievements. For achievements, you get like 5 or 10 primos. For doing quests, you don't get that much, and the amount you get varies. The most Primo Gems you can get for doing quests is like 50 or 60.
This guy has definitely spent upwards of 1K. I don't think so. I think this guy is like a like 6-year like free-to-play veteran that has only lost his mind because he's been playing this game free-to-play for 6 years.
And you get no Primo Gems at the very least. And remember, folks, for the side quests, the presentation...
Look at his team. That's why I think he's free-to-play. What is that team?
Is just as bad, if not worse, than the main story quests because there is no voice acting. Also, special mention to the R&R quest for being 11 hours of this. That quest is single-handedly responsible for my hatred for unskippable cutscenes. I'm serious, you may think you aren't the type of person to be bothered with it, but Genshin will make you that person.
It's a combination of a lot of different factors that just make this game so wonderful, right? Where your goal, obviously, right, is to collect all the characters, get all the Gacha pulls and all of that, and then, like, stuff that you would normally be doing for free, you instead do for pulls, and then, like, the developers now know there's almost like a payment system that's in the game, right? Where, like, hey, you spend time on our game, and we'll give you pulls so you can pull in our game. And the developers then begin molesting that relationship by making shit content. Where their only goal is to keep you playing the game for a long period of time. They don't care what you're playing. Because they managed to abuse that, like, transaction system that you guys had ready to go.
But I digress. Play the side quests for Primo Gems at your own risk.
For chests, the amount also varies, but for the most common type of chests, you only get 0 to 2 Primo Gems per chest.
I like how he said 0 to 2.
Chest. Bit of a reminder that just to get a 100% guarantee for a 5-star character,
0 to 2.
You need 180 pulls, and one pull costs 160 Primo Gems. So multiply 160 by 180, and you will need 28,800 Primo Gems. Great googly moogly. So
That's a lot of chests.
you better get out there and find as many chests as possible.
That is a lot of chests, yeah.
Ow. Also, chests don't respawn, and the first 2 areas combined, Mondstadt and Liyue, have more chests than the Arkham games have Riddler trophies. And we're at like 7 regions now, so that number is way higher.
It does kind of like make you wonder, dude, who's the guy that placed every single one of those chests? Like, there's somebody out there that, like, I probably knows where every chest in Genshin Impact is.
Unfortunately, the Genshin devs didn't have the foresight.
And his name is AI!
The Arkham devs did. I.e., in every Arkham game, Each area has its own Riddler trophy grid and marks each one you collected. The Genshin devs gave you no such thing, so you might just be wandering around looking for chests that don't exist, and you would be none the wiser.
I think this is fair. I don't think people even slightly enjoy the exploration in Genshin Impact anymore. I don't think there's any way you can, because they intentionally, like, have you be using all these other resources and shit. Like, bro, I'm already burnt out of exploration in Wuwa, and I have the checklist. Bro, I don't even attempt. Bro, I think I stopped exploring Genshin in, like, fucking 4.3. Or like 4.4 or something, bro. Like fucking Fontaine, I stopped.
Yes, there is no way to view which chests you have and haven't gotten. Sure, zooming out will tell you what percent the local area has been explored, but that's really vague. How many chests are here? Who knows?
This desert is like, bro, if somebody were to show me that their world has 100% like in this area, I'm calling the police. Just so you know, like if I found out that like your desert exploration is at 100, like I'm not talking to you no more.
If I'm 58% of the way there and there are 100 chests, then I found
That's like having a platinum trophy at the mental asylum.
58 chests. If there are 20 chests here, then I found like 12. See what I mean? This percentage tells me nothing. But wait, the hypothetical audience member says, don't you know you can just craft treasure compasses to help you find treasure?
This might be the most useless menu in gaming history. The crafting menu in this game. Have you ever made any of these things? Like, have you made any of these before?
Yeah, I know. It's helpful, but it doesn't fix the underlying problem because...
Not since Iron Sting. Yeah, not since Iron Sting.
1, you have to go out of your way to make one. 2, the game doesn't tell you where some of the crafting materials even are, so that's even more time spent running around looking for crap. 3, you have to make one for every single region, because for some reason the Mondstadt one can't work in Fontaine.
I love when there's a 30-second cooldown. Oh, my favorite one is when I activate the compass, and then the compass proceeds to, like, curl inward like a fucking hernia and go inside my character, and I don't know where it went, and it just goes on a minute cooldown. Dude, that shit is supreme. When you press it, you don't even see where it goes, and then it just goes on a minute cooldown, and you're just like, all right, awesome. I don't even know how they managed to fuck it up like that, where that's the actual, like, UI experience.
4, it doesn't make finding treasure chests fun, it just makes treasure hunting go from running around aimlessly to just going to where the marker points you to. That's not it for ways to get Primo Gems, cause upgrading each region's Statue of the Seven gives you Primo Gems as well. Only problem is that you only get like 60 Primo Gems per level you upgrade, and what you use to upgrade the statues, that region's Oculus, are even worse to collect than chests are. Just like chests, there's no grid telling you which ones you have and haven't gotten.
Yeah, I'm beginning to realize it now. Bro, it would be such a journey for somebody to just start Genshin right now and collect every Oculus, every chest, everything in the game. Bro, like, that's straight up with how long would that take you to do?
And unfortunately...
And it's not fun, it's boring.
You have to...
And remember how many of the areas and the chests and the oculi are going to be story locked too. Behind like world quests and shit like that. Bro, they should just start making jail sentences where you get released once you finish Genshin Impact. Like, you gotta 100% the game. And like, dude, people would die before that happens. Dude, that'd be worse than a life sentence for some people. Bro, that'd basically be the death penalty. Bro, that would basically be the death penalty, bro. Bro, crime rates would drop. Imagine, you got sentenced to Genshin. You get a fresh level 1 account. You gotta 100% the game. So you gotta collect like 20 oculi, or you don't get food.
Craft a new detector for that region every time you use one to find an oculus. Why? Oh.
If they did that, then Rene would 100% be able to like stream like a prison break stream. You know how like NTE was doing like the prison streams? Like Rene would be able to do it too, except it's like speedrunning Genshin this time. That'd be crazy, COD.
I know why. It's because the devs really want you to use real-world money to buy polls. That's why this is so poorly designed. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Now, let's say you hypothetically...
You could have augmented that point about the real-world money to buy polls by also mentioning that it takes this fucking long to do all the shit and you get like 50 to 60 polls a patch. Like, it's different, hypothetically, if a game were to need you to play this much and you got like 200 pulls a patch. No, these bitches have you play this much and still give you nothing on top of it.
Get enough primo gems to get the character you want after 180 pulls, or are lucky enough to get them before you hit that. Well, they suck because you have to upgrade them, get them a good weapon, and then upgrade that, and then give them an artifact set that's good for them, and then upgrade that.
I don't think people care about the building part necessarily, other than Genshin having everything locked behind like the fucking day of the week, like it's a fucking astrology class.
And then upgrade all of their talents. And let me tell you, it takes a lot of time and resources to get one of these guys to max. This is because the higher levels of your character or equipment just guzzle down whatever resource you are using. And it takes real-world days to get new ones because of the resin system. In gacha games, there's usually some sort of resource that limits the amount you can do per day. Unlike other gacha games like Zenless or Precon, Genshin doesn't allow its version of this to overflow in case you haven't played for a couple of days.
I'm so glad he's getting into the Genshin specific stuff, because how in 2026 do you not actually have... It almost just makes me think that like the Genshin Impact devs don't care if you quit. Because wouldn't it just be so easy to add the overflow resin to the game and then there'd be way less people who quit? Or is like the pressure of losing their precious resin, right? Is that enough to get people logging in every day? I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like at this point, it's like you're using the withdrawal of the drug as like an incentive to not quit. Bro, that's how heavily addicted the Genshin player base is. These guys find it more profitable to not have resin overflow so that people feel the FOMO to log in every day rather than just put in resin overflow and then give players more opportunities to come back. They'd rather stop people from quitting via FOMO than have more people come back via resin overflow. Wow, that's really something to think about.
So, that means once per day, you have to go farm whatever you need, run out of resin, and then wait until the next day to farm more of whatever you need. Why? Actual games don't do this! And other gacha games have a better version of this system. And
yeah, other gacha games let you spend your resin in... Bro, I'm pretty sure if I'm locked in, I can do my Wuwa 240 resin dailies, or my 240 wayplay dailies. I can do it, I think, in 1 minute. I think I can legitimately do 2 Tassafield runs in 1 minute.
Whatever you need ranges from experience to level up characters, ascension materials to ascend your characters so you can level them up more, material to ascend your weapons so you can level them up more, artifacts you need to boost your character stats, artifacts you don't need to level up the ones you do, and materials to upgrade.
Genshin also has no boxes. Bro, or they do have boxes, but bro, the boxes that they have, they like don't give out shit for fucking free. The boxes, I feel like you can only like buy them from like packages in the shop. But like Wuwa and other games just shit out like consumable packages, right? That you can like redeem for a bunch of like the different mats that you'd normally be farming for. But I know Genshin, Like, HSR does it, ZZZ does it, all, like, Enfield does it as well. Surprisingly, the NTE does it, but, like, Genshin's just one of those games that just does not fucking do it.
Your character's attacks. This takes forever for one character, let alone the 4 you have to have on your team. Now, keep everything I said in mind, from the gacha system to how annoying it is to get primo gems, to how long it takes to get your characters to their max level, because my next complaint makes them all like 1,000 times worse. Power creep.
And this is something I would say that's relatively new to Genshin. That's the ironic part. The power creep portion, the power creep part, all of this shit, bro, it's kind of only been in the game since like 5 point something.
Oh no.
This game was actually fine balance-wise until like 5 point something.
So, the devs give new characters mechanics that make them do more damage than older characters, and design all the updates and new endgame around them, so your old characters are worse without the devs actually nerfing them. So, that means you can't just get any 5-star character, it has to be a newer one.
Basically, ever since Mavuika, this Pyro Archon bitch got added to the game, alongside with her partner in the fucking Sinister Sisters, bro, right here, Mavuika Sitlali. They released and did 50% more damage than the previous highest damage team. All these teams out here, they was at like 50 to 60k damage, and then she came in dealing 90.
So you can actually do damage to the newer enemies.
Like, bro, the best teams in the game were like New Valette. Bro, when was the last time anyone played New Valette?
So everything I complained about isn't something you have to deal with at the beginning of the game.
Bro, remember when Hyperbloom was viable?
It's something that plagues you throughout the entire thing. Does this sound like a fun game to you?
I quit.
Yeah, so I quit. The game isn't fun, and as Reggie Fils-Aimé once said, if it's not fun, why bother? Now,
I mean, this is the natural path forward for, I think, most players. And this is the reality. I don't actually think that Genshin is a bad game to start right now. Because what's one thing that you're going to avoid? Pulling any of the dog shit characters. You could just go in, pull all the new broken fucking shit, right? And then theoretically play one of like the longest single player adventures ever. The unfortunate part though is that chances are you might not actually like what the game has to offer, because the game is like 99.9% text, voices, and story. It's just people had the allure of rewards, gacha pulls, blah blah blah, being locked behind experiencing this mind-numbingly bad content. But if you're gonna go ahead and digest all that content at once, bro, it looks like a lot, but you're never gonna make it through even half. Bro, think about it this way. Genshin and the consumption of its content and story. It's like a giant burrito. Think of it as like one long, tremendous meat tunnel. What's in a burrito? You got like rice, beans, cheese, guac, veggies, whatever. Imagine that you took a burrito, big old burrito, and then you took out all the guac, the meat, the cheese, and all you had left in it were beans. The guac, meat, cheese, those were the gacha pulls. They aren't there anymore. When you're playing Genshin in 2026, and then you're playing Mondstadt in Leeway, you're eating a burrito, and all that's in it is beans. It's just a gigantic burrito full of fucking beans. Everyone else ate that burrito when it had guac, rice, cheese, meat, all that good shit in there. But all you get is the fucking beans. You ain't playing that shit. And you ain't eating that shit either.
now, I know for sure I'm absolutely gonna get some stupid Genshin defenders in the comments going, actually, you quitting won't change the game.
Actually, you quitting won't change the game.
The game will only change if the Chinese fan base complains.
Yeah, I can't top that.
And to that I say,
I can't top that. Nah, that was masterfully done. Well done, sir.
oh, boo-hoo. What, are you gonna do nothing with your life because the sun will explode in like 1,000,000,000 years?
Real voice, by the way. I like to think there's a reason why that dude was so good at this. Like, he's done that before.
Sure, I might not be able to change the developers' minds or improve the state of the game, but I can do one thing. I can at least make sure they don't succeed in actually wasting my time.
We've been saying this since day one, ladies and gentlemen. This game sucks ass.
They want you to feel helpless and to continue playing the game no matter how bad it gets. And I'm not gonna let that happen to me because I deserve better.
This is kind of like this is how you know that this guy ain't like other CCs. This guy's making this video not for you, not for me, not for like the Gacha community. Y'all know why this guy's making this video? This is basically a fucking digital diary, bro. This might as well have led with Dear Diary. I'm quitting Genshin and you should too. Nah, that's the best way that I can describe this. He made this video for himself. He probably had to do this to quit the fucking game. And now that it's online, now they got this many views, now that I guess I've reacted to it, other people have reacted to it, well, now he can't actually, now he has to quit. He's got to follow through. I respect it, because Genshin is really good at this one thing. Being a substitute for something actually meaningful in your fucking life. This game takes up so much time, gives people, right, such a sense of like whatever when they're going through it, has all those lingering moments of emotional instability from, COVID. A lot of people really struggle to let it go. And this to me almost seems like a therapeutic release of this guy's like fucking pent up trauma for the past 6 years. But maybe I'm reaching, who knows?
You deserve better. That's why I'm quitting.
No, this guy's like saying this shit in front of a mirror, bro.
And you should too. I can think of several games that are more worthy of your time than Primo farming in Genshin ever will be. And I can recommend you some if you want.
All of Bungie's Halo games.
The
Nerd.
Batman Arkham
Nerd.
games. Earthbound.
Nerd.
Marvel Ultimate
Nerd.
Alliance. Sonic
Nerd.
Generations. Doom
Nerd.
1. Doom 3.
Nerd 3.
Metal Gear Solid 1
Metal Gear Nerd.
through 5.
Metal Gear 5. The Nerd Pain.
Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
Nerd Vengeance.
Gears of War 1
Nerds of War.
through 3. Fallout 1,
I was trying to think of a creative. I'll just call it Nerd Out. Yeah, Nerd Out 1.
2, and New Vegas.
Nerd Out, Nerd Vegas. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming, did you?
Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D.
Dude, how many does this guy have?
Any version of Majora's Mask. A Link to the Past. Breath of the Wild. I haven't played the rest of them. Mario 64. Sonic CD.
Go outside! How did you play all of these? Bro, this guy had no childhood. He sounds old. That's what I'm saying. Bro, if you played they all came out at the same time. If you played all of them, that means he never played outside as a kid. How'd you play all of them one after each other? This is all like 2000 to 2004. But one thing I didn't notice on here, I don't see Call of Duty.
64. Sonic CD. Devil May Cry 1 and 3. Bioshock 1. Any Lego game. Any Resident Evil game that isn't 6. Mega Man X through...
Okay, so like, do you guys still think I was going overboard, or like, are you beginning to agree with what I was saying?
X4. Any Capcom fighting game that isn't Street Fighter V. Any Metroid game after Metroid 2. Smash Ultimate.
Like, I get playing games. This is too many.
And Puyo Puyo Tetris. You should play any or all of these games instead of playing Genshin.
There's no... I'm sorry. I don't know anyone that's played all of those games. Not a single person with all of those under their umbrella. Honestly, I think it's more healthy to have like 500 hours of one game than all of those. Because like, you'll get tired of that one game you're playing for 500 hours and then go do other shit. So you're like naturally diversifying that way. What the fuck even is this? Bro, the fact that somebody could recall all of these games by themselves is mind-blowing to me. Imagine off rip being able to recite all of these. If this is the alternative, maybe you should keep playing Genshin.
Puyo Puyo Tetris. You should play any or all of these games instead of playing Genshin. Life is literally too short to spend dedicated to Genshin, so
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Anyways, I feel like this was a great video over here that kind of like focuses on the normie perspective. Kind of like almost like the non-gacha perspective when it comes to a game like Genshin Impact. And I think one of the big things to sort of like realize over here is that Genshin, from like the normie perspective, I think was known as like this higher quality game, but that's just not the same gacha space that it was back in 2020. And so the game doesn't look any better. It's aged worse, if we're going to be honest here. All the systems are outdated and shit. And now it just looks way worse than every other gacha that's coming out. I'm just going to be honest. It's a rough spot. And I don't really know how much the player base is even growing right now. And I feel like when people leave Genshin, they leave forever. And the fact that Hoyo hasn't put in overflow resin leads me to believe they know that when somebody quits, they're gone. Because they know Genshin's bad, and they know that people have so many better alternatives. So why put in overflow resin when people that quit don't even bother to come back anyways? Why not just remove overflow resin, never add it, so that people feel just one more thing that's stopping them from quitting? And that's what you call desperation. But hey, when you're losing everything real fast, you gotta hold on to what you got left, right? And I feel like that's kind of what we're seeing over here for Genshin in the big 2026. Yeah, other than this guy being like playing more games than I feel like I've ever seen anyone in my goddamn life fucking play. Other than that, pretty baller video. But yeah, no, this guy's definitely a nerd. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.